afternoon. What did that mean? Okay, we're good. So the color party is going to approach along with our sergeant of the RCMP. There was a bit of a miscommunication. They thought we were raising those beautiful 3 flags over there. When they saw they were up, they said, okay, we're done, and they changed. So Marcel's in the shower. Maybe that's kind of personal, but anyway, the sergeant is coming in his regular police clothes and his Stetson, so that'll still be a great picture. So as they are approaching, we'll let the color party approach. When the sergeant, oh, he's there, is in place to raise the flag, the girls will begin singing, and we can join in with them if we so desire. So we'll get started. Thanks.
Color party, home. Color party, advance right,
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Okay, if you have a chair, you can sit. If you don't have a chair, I guess you'll stand or sit on the ground. So the Winston High School Girls Chorus, I just made up that name for them because I don't think they have a name. Just performed O Canada for us. That's not the whole chorus, and they're actually going to maybe disband or something because they've all graduated. That's kind of sad. So let's give them a hand for helping us out. We appreciate it. I also really appreciate Crystal Clank Potts, who organized the color party for us this afternoon. They work, they're part of the Lanigan Cadet group, and that was a favor they did for us today, so we appreciate that. We'll clap for them. And of course, we really appreciate the sergeant coming over and raising our flag for us. That is a special thing on a day like today. So good afternoon. I begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather today is Treaty 4 territory and the traditional territory of and home for many Indigenous peoples, including the Cree and Saulteaux, Assiniboine and Métis. It is important to show respect and recognition of the First Peoples on whose territories we live and work. It is within these territories that today we proudly celebrate 150 years of Confederation, while recognizing and honoring the 15,000 years of culture that came before us. So welcome home, everyone. While you never need an invitation to come home, sometimes you do need an excuse, and celebrating this birthday is a great excuse to come home. We are beyond delighted that so many of you responded to this invitation to come back to Watrous and the beach. I hope that the start of this homecoming has been all that you were hoping for, and maybe even a little bit more. So here we are together again. This weekend is all about you, our honored guests. We have come together as two communities to celebrate a hugely significant milestone in the history of our country. This weekend is all about celebrating this history with family and friends in places that we all hold near and dear to our hearts. At the same time as our future is being celebrated, we connect with family and friends to congratulate ourselves on and revel in the vitality and vibrancy of a country that is second to none, in which to live, work, raise a family, and celebrate as it turns 150 years old. As we celebrate the weekend and enjoy each other's company, we will be thinking of those who have gone before us and who are not with us today to celebrate our community's successes. We are proud to be where we are and should remember where we have been. 8 years have passed since our last homecoming. We have changed a bit in those last 8 years, but not so that you'd notice. Well, you might notice some stuff at the beach. Mother Nature has started some serious changes there for sure. You actually might notice some other things too. Our children are older. Some of them have children of their own, making people grandparents since you last saw us. We've lost people and gained people, and some of us have changed. But our communities are bustling and thriving and not showing our age at all. So while we are not exactly as you last left us, we mostly are. This is still home for all of us, and for those that have been away for the past 8 years or longer, you are likely noticing more of what stayed the same than what has changed. That's what home is, the place that you're from, the place that mostly stays the same, the place that stirs up nostalgic and happy memories of a different time in your life, the place that you can come back to no matter what and be remembered and welcomed. So today we do think about being home in Watrous and Manitou Beach, but we are celebrating our homeland's birthday. It's the reason for the t-shirts and the flags and all of the excitement. We are so happy to have you here. We've been planning this for a while, and even though we've done this a couple of times, you'd be surprised by how much we didn't remember. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised because the committee's getting older too. We are doing lots of things that we did in our previous 2 homecomings. We're not doing some other things that we did do, and there is a ton of stuff happening at the beach. So there have been many, many people that put this together for you, and I'm going to introduce them to you now. We've been meeting for many months to plan this, and I'm going to say their names. I left a blank because I'm positive I left someone's name off. So when you think of the name that I didn't say, just shout it out and I'll add it in. So in no particular order, the people on your homecoming committee have been Pat Isherwood, Glenda Cox MacArthur, Kathy Sather, Debbie Holm, Shelley Engel, Melanie Manson, Monique Sundquist, Brandon Bertram, Chris Moffat, Ed Collins, Susan Jabes, Ted Karski, Janice Siegfried, Meredith Merrifield, and
Karen.
yeah, well, whatever. But anyway, that's good for me. So clap for those people. They worked hard. So now I know that they're feeling the heat up here, so I'm going to begin by introducing I'm going to continue by introducing our guests and ask each of them to present some words, greeting on behalf of their communities. And we'll begin with His Worship Ed Collins, who is the Mayor of Watrous.
Thank you very much, Karen. Your Worship, Jerry, Reeve Bob, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Before I begin, I too want to acknowledge Treaties 4 and 6, which laid the foundations for the settlement of this region, for which for several thousand years has been the homeland of diverse cultures, including the Sioux, Cree, Assiniboia, and Métis people. Here today, we stand on Treaty Territory number 6, though many of us undoubtedly live on Treaty Territory number 4, which stretches from just south of town all the way to the American border. Also, before I get going here, I would like us just to pause for one moment, a moment of silence in honor of all the people who have been part of our lives and this community who are here no longer here today. So just for a second, please. Thank you. First of all, it is indeed my pleasure to extend a warm Watrous welcome to each and every one of you for attending our 2017 Manitou Beach Watrous Celebration Canada 150. A special welcome to the folks who have come from a distance to be with us this weekend. I certainly hope that everyone enjoys the weekend's festivities. Last night at the Civic Center, at the street dance, and later on in the evening at the beer tent, I saw a lot of handshaking and embracing. And that's what the weekend is all about. Meeting past acquaintances and also making new friendships. And wow, what a parade an hour or so ago. Wow. Thanks very much to our parade marshal, Maynard Fawson, and his crew for just an excellent job in organizing this year's parade, and to the businesses and individuals for participating as well. What's a homecoming without a parade? And it was a great job by all and enjoyed by all. Obviously, it takes a lot of organizing and hard work to put on an event such as this. Many, many hours of meetings and planning the details, and I'd like to acknowledge the organizing committee for the work they have done. Thanks to Karen Schrader-Mark, our chairperson, and of course earlier on she mentioned all the names. Now most of those folks are wearing, not all of them, but most of them are wearing black t-shirts. So as the weekend progresses, if you meet one of those folks and they've got a identifying name tag on them, just stop them and say thank you, because they did a heck of a pile of work. And to our many volunteers, you have once again stepped up and gave your time and effort to our community, and we couldn't have done it without you. To our town staff, Susan, Taya, Melanie, and Debbie, they have all spent countless hours coordinating all of this as well, taking registration, answering questions, telephone calls, emails, etc. Thanks for the extra mile. To our public works staff, the town just looks wonderful. You have worked hard this past couple of weeks, beautifying our community and assisting with all the venues setups. And to the residents of our community and businesses, you have done your part also in sprucing up the town as well. So in closing, I again want to thank all of you for coming. Welcome home. And on this July 1st, as we do every July 1st, we take a moment to remember ourselves that indeed we do live in the best country in the world, and it is people like you who make it that way. So happy Canada Day, enjoy the weekend, have some fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. And now we will hear from His Worship Jerry Warbeck, who is the Mayor of the Resort Village of Manitou Beach.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson, Mayor Collins, Reeve, Penrose, and the committee, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, that was a fantastic parade, wouldn't you agree? I couldn't believe it. We were done, and we went around, and there were still people coming out of the lot to go on the tour, so I was blown away. Thanks to Maynard Fawson and all his volunteers for making that such a great success. What a great weekend so far. We're only halfway through it, and I'm just blown away about what's been going on already. It takes dedication of several people to pull off a weekend like this, so I'd like to give a huge thanks to the Watrous Manitou Homecoming Committee and all the volunteers for putting on such a fantastic weekend for all of us to enjoy. They've worked tirelessly. Last night, Lorraine and I were over at the beer gardens for a few hours at the cabaret, and it was so much fun. Every time I'd go for a little loop, and I mean, that's going for a beer, you'd bump into somebody you knew. Every time. It took me 40 minutes to go get a beer every time, because you'd see someone else you met and someone else you met and years ago, and it was just great. And that's what this is all about this weekend, so it's really great. So having said that, the weekend I would say already is 100% success so far, and lots more to come. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's my privilege and honor to say welcome on behalf of the Resort Village of Manitou Beach. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody, and happy birthday, Canada.
Thanks, Jerry. I just had to ask Bob if he's a worship, but he says he's not. He's just a Reeve. So the Reeve of the RM of Morris, Bob Penrose.
I was just trying to give Melvin Odney a heart attack. He always does such an amazing job of the sound. Yeah. I just, as a farmer, I know some of the town people have a hard time figuring out what we're saying. I know one day we'll say we can't believe how dry it is, and the next day we'll say, you know, it's got to stop raining, we just got way too much. Or I know I have said a couple of weeks ago it's too hot, the crop is burning up, and then last week I said we need some heat to make things grow. So I know there's just no way you'll ever understand us. So I like to say good afternoon to everyone. I'm representing the rural municipality of Morris. The RM is the agricultural producers, landowners, rural business owners, and acreage owners surrounding Zelma, Young, Manitou Beach, and Watrous. We are a municipal body that is responsible for building and maintaining 500 miles of roadway within our 340 square miles. Our ratepayers are strong financial supporters in our local hospital, schools, recreational facilities, libraries, and fire departments. The RM of Morris is a member of the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities, the Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan, the Watrous Manitou Marketing Group, and Mid-Sask Municipal Alliance. So on behalf of our employees, administrator, councillors, and ratepayers, I would like to send out a warm welcome to all locals and visitors to the area and thank the 150 Homecoming Volunteer Committee for all their work in planning this week's festivities. I know they put months of work into organizing this weekend, so just relax and have fun. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
I do appreciate everybody mentioning the committee and thanking us for our time and our effort. And I speak for myself here, but I think I also speak for them when I say that it really is our pleasure. Like, we didn't have to do this, we wanted to do this. And it was very stirring today and has been really since yesterday when everybody started to roll into town, meeting together. Just there's a buzz and a hum in the air that we don't feel around here every July 1st. We always do something. It's generally not this big. And our previous two homecomings didn't encompass July 1st within their actual days. I don't think, anyway. I can't remember that they did. So it's very, very special to us that we're on the committee, and we very, very happily, gladly, and willingly did this. We wanted you to come here, and we're so glad you responded like you did. There were a lot of registrations. That was kind of a slow build, to say the least, and we spent a long time thinking, well, okay, maybe we're going to have half the people we had the other time. That's okay. It doesn't matter. And by yesterday, I think we were up to about 900 registrations, if people are wondering. So it all came in at the last minute, often like we do. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up because everybody is hot. So I'm going to say just a couple of things that I'd like you to remember for the rest of today. I'll actually say tomorrow first because there's only one thing to remember for town anyway. There will be an ecumenical church service in the Civic Center at 1:30. Every other church is conducting their own regular service in the morning. So if you have a church specifically that you want to visit or attend service at, everybody is having church tomorrow, to my knowledge. The church service in the Civic Center is, as I said, ecumenical. It'll happen at 1:30. But before church, there's some other stuff that we can do today. One of the things that I really hope that everybody takes time to come to this afternoon is a meet and greet at the curling rink. We need a place for everybody to go this afternoon that they can continue to run into people and sit and visit and enjoy themselves. So that's what the curling rink, the 2 to 5 at the curling rink is about. We just called it a meet and greet because we had a hard time thinking of a better name. At 3 o'clock during the meet and greet, there will be a short program honoring our businesses, past and present, just giving a bit of a history lesson and talking a little bit about the intrepid business people that have made this community what it is over the last over 100 years now. And I'll just throw this in there. The curling rink is licensed, so you can get a drink from the beer gardens and bring it into the curling rink. If you're thinking that, you know, you couldn't do that, you can. So come down, have a drink. The beer gardens are open. The beach is loaded with stuff. Read your agenda. Like, there is a lot of stuff happening down at the beach this afternoon too. As I talk about the beach, the fireworks are there tonight. They're going to be quite a show. They are set to music. They will be setting them off near the regional park at the tennis courts. So any place Is that right? Any place down there is a good place to watch them. You might want to be kind of closest to that if you want to hear the music. I think that's going to be pretty spectacular. The Kinsmen are putting on the Beach Boogie tonight. That is always fun, but you can go to the fireworks first if you want and then go there, or just go straight there at 7 because they're going to play the football game. There are lots of other things that are happening. Those are some of the bigger ones. Tomorrow morning, if you're hungry again, there is a pancake breakfast at the beach. So if you're hungry, go to the beach for breakfast. The Civic Center registration closes at 1 today. So if you haven't picked up your package yet, you're going to need to do that by 1. But it's going to stay open till about 3 o'clock. Again, if you want just a place to go and visit, or you haven't had a chance to check out the displays, there's time to do that. Please make sure that you try and talk to Kathy Bergen or her husband Gary, sitting here melting in the sun. They are getting us a heritage center along with their committee that by the next time you come home should be up and running, and they can answer any questions you might have about that and any ways you might be able to support that cause. So that's all we're going to say here. What? Oh, I forgot. Bingo! Yeah. The Rotary is putting on a bingo, and so they really want you to come because the prizes are really fabulous, right?
1 o'clock in the upstairs in the stadium.
Yeah, 1 o'clock upstairs at the curling rink, and it will wrap up 2:30, 20 to 3ish, so that we can get Murray down and Lionel down, so they're going to MC the meet and greet that we're going to have this afternoon. Is there anything else? Okay, so before we, sorry? And coffee and dessert, coffee and cookies at the church. And when does that start, Sharon? 2 to 4. You'd think I'd know, but I can't remember that stuff all that well all the time. Anyway, we're going to sing happy birthday because it is a birthday party. So as soon as we're done that, there are 2 stations for cake, coffee, and juice. The cake might be a bit melted, but that's okay. Anyway, so ready? Let's get started and we'll sing happy birthday. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.